Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Over 200 Tesla takedown protests were held on Saturday, March 29th, 2025. And sadly, almost no one who attended these protests are any wiser. And probably none of them have any clue that they participated in a psychological operation. And for anyone out there who's new, this is no defense of Elon Musk. I've been speaking out against him for almost a decade because I've seen what a puppet he is on the world stage, and I recognized it was not an accident that a lot of us got purged from social media on June 28th, his birthday, back in 2017. I saw that he was connected to the agenda of the overthrowing of this country, undermining the First and Second Amendment. And of course, you're listening to the voice of somebody who had their X, formerly Twitter account, deleted 1 week after the Trump administration took office for calling out the salute. I was deleted January 27th, 2025. And it's too bad because I was actually able to get views on that platform. You know, my live streams on there were getting over 2,000 viewers per show, whereas on YouTube, I used to do that on YouTube, back in 2018. These days on YouTube, I'm getting like 200 people per stream if I'm lucky. But anyway, notice the Gematria Tesla takedown, you guys. They called this the Tesla takedown protest. Tesla takedown 201. Like the Jesuit order, like Inauguration Day is the 201st day of the nation's age, like how the SS scientists were brought over in Operation Paperclip on the 201st day of the year, 24 years to the day of the moon landing, where Wernher von Braun was the main scientist responsible for the achievements, the same Nazi scientist who wrote the book The Mars Project, where the lead character is the Elon. And again, the same day that Elon Musk did his salute, Wernher von Braun's wife died. And we were all over this before it was even announced that his wife died. We'll go back over that. But if you're new here, 201 is the number of the Jesuits, the same Jesuits that were behind the SS, the same Jesuits that run this nation. And again, it's just, I get so tired of explaining the same things every day. Again, learn about this 201 code. It'll show you who really runs this nation. The CIA was established in a big 201 ritual. There's a reason that Inauguration Day was moved to the 201st day of the nation's age. And also, there's a reason that the capital was moved to D.C., where the Jesuits set up camp. Again, the Jesuits run this nation. There really isn't an argument against this fact. Again, the founders were speaking out about how this nation could be subverted by the Jesuits. Lincoln blamed the Civil War on the Jesuits, and nearly every American is none the wiser. Remember January 6th, which they had you all hung up on, that big psychological operation? Remember that happened 201 days after the only Confederate statue in D.C. fell on June 19th, which came from the George Floyd riots, which were a massive 201 ritual. It was compared to what happened to Dame Traore in the home of the Jesuits, Paris, France. Again, Dame Traore's killing was on the 201st day of the year, exactly 201 weeks before George Floyd. Again, this same number being used over and over and over in heavy ritualism. Hello, the sacrifice of Donald Trump's ex-wife. She died 45 years after their marriage, buried on the 201st day of the year. Beau Biden sacrificed his son at age 46 before he became number 46, and he sacrificed him 201 days before the first Jesuit Pope's birthday, Pope Francis, the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, and the same Jesuit priest did the funeral for Beau Biden and the inauguration for Joe Biden. Trump and Joe Biden, both Jesuit educated. The name of that priest was Leo Jeremiah O'Donovan, which equals 201, just like Ignatius Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, just like Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the birth name of Pope Francis. This 201 is the calling card for Jesuit operations. And don't forget, Jesuit and Tesla both equate to 78, and Elon Musk was declared the world's richest man for the first time ever on the 78th anniversary of the death of Nikola Tesla. That was January 7th, 2021. If you're new here, this practice of coding numbers into words is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. Notice how Tesla's 57 when you run it forwards, 78 when you run it in reverse. These protests were on March 29th, 25. 3 plus 29 plus 25, 57. For the record, Rome equals 57. The Jesuit motto is Sus Hominum Salvator, equating to 274. these protests were 274 days after puppet Elon Musk's birthday. Remember, the Roman Catholic Church began celebrating Sol Invictus in 274 AD. The number's not arbitrary to them. And the other kicker is we're in the time of the first Jesuit Pope, who's 88 years old. And we told you years in advance why Trump would be coming back in this election, in this rigged selection. It had to do with the Pope being 88 at this time. Big number with 88 is Trump. Remember the Mar-a-Lago raid on 88? A million other things. But on the 88th day of the year, we get this, synced with the 88-year-old Pope. Trump equals 88. Mein Kampf equals 88. Remember, for years, there's been rumors that Trump was going around with Mein Kampf. They were talking about this a lot. The first time he became president back in 2017, Trump denied it. Other people said that he had it. But see how it's evolved over the course of 8 years. Now on Inauguration Day, Elon's doing the Sig Heil. And what's crazy is you see how everyone who's so attached to their party, they're like, no, it wasn't the Sig Heil, it was the Roman salute. Okay, the Sig Heil's based in the Roman salute. Not to mention it was the Roman Catholic Church that was behind the SS. Not to mention the name on Small Mustache Man's birth certificate, which is Adolphus Hitler, equates to 201. But yeah, again, this is a big number with the Republican Party. And this entire, and the Holy Roman Empire, and of course all the Roman architecture in D.C., and the Roman fasces on the wall of the House of Representatives, when it's the root word of fascism, which is the merger of government and corporation, as coined by the Italian dictator Mussolini. Again, it's been fascism here way before we got Mr. Sig Heil as Trump's wingman. And by the way, Sig Heil equals 47. Just for the record, if you run it the other way, Trump equals 47. Things we've talked about forever. Wernher von Braun, who wrote the Project Mars, died 47 years ago. Mars has a 47-year orbital cycle. Again, all this stuff is high ritual. But yeah, just to recap some important points. The 201, Inauguration Day, is the 201st day of the nation's age. Again, on the Inauguration Day for number 47, we got the Sig Heil, which equates to 47, like fascism, like Mein Kampf, like right wing. Again, if you're new here, 4 base ciphers of the English language. Alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. Reverse alphabetic order. Z is 1 back to A is 26. And both orders with numerology applied. It's intuitive, it's mathematical, it's undeniable once you learn it. Again, 47 years after Wernher von Braun died, this happens. The Sig Heil was on the 207th day, Elon's age. Wernher von Braun equals 207. Kind of like the moon landing date, the 20th day of the 7th month, which is the 201st day of the nation's age. And not the 201st day of the nation's age, that's Inauguration Day. July 20th is the 201st day of the Gregorian calendar year. And again, the calendar came from the Jesuit priest Christopher Clavius, who's also responsible for seismology. That's a whole nother subject. So, again, old magazine cover out of Germany from 2017, back when there were the rumors of Mein Kampf, how this narrative just continues to build. Here's the birth certificate name of Mustache Man. Again, when they started bringing over the SS scientists at the end of World War II, it was on July 20th, the 201st day of the nation's age. So, yeah, you can go back and read these older posts. I did a video on this back then, but just wanted to recap what's going on and how the narrative continues to build by the same numbers. And again, the phrase is united we stand, divided we fall. And these political parties are both bought and paid for and controlled by the same cabal, and they are used to divide the American people, point blank, period. It's about the only thing they do. And yeah, just to go back in time, Elon Musk, January 7th, 2021, that was the day he became the world's richest man for the first time ever during the time of the Cooties 19, which was simulated by a Jesuit with Event 201 on the day the Military World Games began in Wuhan, China, when the Military World Games started in Italy, the home of the Vatican and the Jesuits. But, yeah, right here. Where did I put it? Where's the Nikola Tesla part? Oh, yeah, Nikola Tesla died January 7th, 43. So 78 years to the day, Elon Musk is declared the world's richest man. And by the way, keep in mind he took office in the time of the 119th Congress with Trump. Nikola Tesla equals 119. Don't forget also that when the actual Tesla died, Trump's uncle, who worked for the FBI, did the audit of Tesla's papers. And now, while Trump's 78 years old, these guys are united. Trump, Jesuit educated at Fordham. Again, they're both actors. And, they're both playing out a big script. You see how I have the 68s up here as well? Keep in mind, CIA equals 68. Catholicism, mathematics, solar system. These protests were on the 88th day of the year, thus 68 days after Inauguration Day. Donald John Trump equals 68. Again, CIA 68. The CIA was created on the 201st day of the sitting Pope's age at the time on September 18th, 47. And the words in the CIA's logo, United States of America, Central Intelligence Agency equals 201. Their motto, the work of a nation, the center of intelligence equals 201. A secret intelligence agency working on whose behalf? Not the people's, the controllers who want us fighting amongst ourselves and not seeing the way we're all getting played for fools. It's not the Tesla takedown that we need. It's the puppet masters behind them, the Jesuit cabal that were warned about by the founders, that need to be taken down. And a lot of people are so lost in the sauce, they've forgotten history. What were people escaping when they came to North America? The rule of the governing forces of Europe, which were who? The Catholic Church, which the Jesuit order serves. Till next time.